it's not looking good.
Let's get rolling. KRAKOW reports. How's it going today? Welcome to the KRAKOW Report. I'm Mr. Simon, and I've got a report for you today.
Now, Polish police reportedly recorded around 180 hate crime reports against Ukrainians during the first half of 2026. That's more than 30% higher than the same period last year. As authorities and researchers warn that Russian disinformation is exploiting historical trauma, social tensions, and online propaganda to fuel hostility, concerns are growing that online narratives are increasingly translating into real-world violence.
There's a simple truth as to why Poland, yes, Poland, has become one of the safest countries in the world, and it's a truth that they don't really want you to hear.
Why is Poland very safe? If you go to Paris, you go to Amsterdam...
You know why?
Do you know why? Yes, you do.
We have no immigrants, you know?
But again, the way that Poland enforces this is not funny. Like, they're not messing around. This is serious stuff.
It's not looking good.
And of course, it's a terrible thing to kill somebody. We do not like that. I hate watching this stuff. I just hate watching it. It's really, really hard to watch. Let's watch this one. When someone's doing something illegal and trying to break into a border, and the police actually show that they are not joking. You're not going to be taken into a detention center. You are going to be shot at.
It's how you're wired.
Duty. We might actually get shot at. I don't want to get shot at, so it doesn't make any sense. This is something that Poland is actually exceptionally proud of and tries to defend, because they realized earlier on that allowing for a massive amounts of invaders that don't want to assimilate into your country and your culture, but rather would like to take over, is a bad idea. I mean, who would have thought that putting those two elements together, that invaders are not good for your culture? I mean, the genius of it is really hard to understand.
Disinformation is such a vast and such a broad phenomenon these days, but at the same time, there are many instances when it shows that disinformation can be as dangerous as like the physical weapons, for example.
Why do you support immigration?
Because I want my future daughter to be alive, not raped and killed. Is that enough? Is that a good reason?
In Poland is quite a protected country from immigration.
What do you mean quite? It's zero. We don't have illegal migrants. It's not quite protected. We did not let them in. None. Zero.
It's because you're afraid of what Europe is becoming.
No, we're not afraid. We're smart.
But if you allow thousands and millions of people who are not compatible with your society, who want to come in to invade your society...
You have a brain that only activates under threat.
We are brave men. Look at me. I'm not afraid of anything. We are brave. We are strong. We are not politically correct. We don't give a shit.
It's not because they're racist, it's because they're smart. They actually realize what we all know to be true. It's not mega complicated.
Moroccan security forces dispersed migrants who tried to cross from the town of Fenidek into Spain's North African enclave of Ceuta on Saturday. Migrants were seen standing and running on a hillside near the border as security personnel gathered in the area. The intervention came amid heightened security on both sides of the frontier, following social media messages that had encouraged another mass border crossing attempt. Earlier this week, Moroccan authorities said they were monitoring social media posts of unknown origin calling for a mass crossing on August 15th, and warned they would prosecute organizers and participants.
You know what? I think I'll bum rush Spain. Probably not. More likely to be organized. In fact, there's videos like this that we want to show you that shows you that literally people were brought in by the truckloads. So there's no question this is organized, and it appears that there's almost no question that the Moroccan government is at least allowing it to happen, if not encouraging it to happen, but it does appear to be encouraging.
But the families they don't talk about are the families of Americans, forever separated from the people they love. They don't talk about that, ever.
It's not looking good.
He was enraged. We're to slaughter anyone we like, okay? And if Spain objects, there'll be consequences. Spain's refusal to allow the United States access to its military bases during the Iran campaign, its consistent failure to meet NATO defense spending targets.
You know, I saw Spain yesterday, and I watched the catastrophe that took place. It looks like an invasion of a country by hundreds of thousands of people. And that same thing's going to happen to us if the Republicans don't get elected, except worse. Much bigger, much easier to get into, despite the fact that we have built thousands of miles of wall, which I said we were going to do, but we didn't have that, forget it. But we have the safest border in the world. If we're not in office, our country will be invaded at levels that made Spain look small time. And when I watched it, I said, boy, I'm going to say it because I knew you were going to be at Camp David. And I say, that's going to be a talking point for the midterms. Because when you look at what happened to Spain, they don't know what to do. And it's happening again today. They're coming in by the tens of thousands. They're just invading the country. And what that is weak law, bad management, but very liberal law. They passed a couple of laws, and people read. You know, people are smart. They read from other countries, and they swam that 3-mile swim or however they got in, but nobody's seen anything like it. That will look good compared to what's going to happen to the United States. The biggest thing, the worst thing that Biden did is allowing 25 million people into our country, because many of those people are criminals. They're murderers. A lot of murder. 11,888. A lot of them are gone now. We got them out. But they allowed people to come into this country that you can't allow to come into a country.
How dare they not allow America to use its bases to bomb Iran on behalf of Israel? How dare they talk about the Palestinians as if they're humans?
We've had some sex with Lebanon and Israel is unprecedented.
Of course, it's about Israel. Unfortunately, I didn't think so, but we have overwhelming evidence.
We're in the middle of a crisis on our southern border. The unprecedented surge of illegal migrants from Central America.
We don't have mass immigration. We don't. We do not have mass immigration.
A nation without borders is not a nation. A lot of them are criminals that were let in through that open border, that horrible. Remember the scene? Remember the scene? Well, you saw it the other day in Spain, right? Okay, now envision that. They allowed 65,000 people in. Now you remember 25 million people. We were worse. That was like that every single day in our country, and that went on for months and months. And
he wants us to be united with a common national identity and to pause in mass immigration. Well, I'm for him on that one.
We don't have mass immigration.
1.2 million criminals nationwide and bad ones. We want to make sure we get the bad ones.
If you're making an argument, you don't like my thumbnails, or you try to say my name over and over again.
I'm saying that you say bullshit in order to get money. But what I really think is
let me ask you a
the
question.
predictions.
Let me ask you a question you can't answer.
I will agree with you that there's increased polarization. I would attribute a lot of that to people being specifically online.
Let me ask.
There's a lot less interaction with people that are in different camps.
Let me ask you a question.
But you're going to sit here.
I would blame tenant media and places like that, arguably paying for those videos to be made, because the Russians are big fans of destabilization. I think the whole thing about making money, I think, is too loose. And I think there's an ideological cash flow behind paying for those kind of clickbait titles.
RT employees were covertly funding a U.S. company publishing thousands of videos in furtherance of Russian interests. That company is Tenet Media. For those who aren't familiar, this is a new media company, and we licensed one of our shows, Culture War, to them. I, as well as the other personalities, were victims. We were deceived by people intentionally to trick us into licensing our content to them.
Tim Pool was on stream saying Ukraine is the number one enemy of the world. 2 weeks later, we find out that $10 million has been funneled from Russia Today through Czech and British and other shell companies to a media organization founded by Lauren Chen and Donovan of Tenet Media, which recruited a bunch of conservative content creators like Benny Johnson, Tim Pool. And after being funneled all this money, some of them are even given instructions or guidance to push Russian propaganda. $400,000 a month for Benny Johnson to have questions, especially when you see the type of content Tim Pool's creating and you see the type of lies that Benny Johnson and Tim Pool was pushing.
It's not looking good.
I like ICE.
Then you're happy that they're killing people?
No.
Okay, so what are you going to do?
I'm going to vote for Trump again.
You can't vote for Trump again, shithead.
How do you feel about them using the military to go after undocumented migrants in this country?
I think it is an unnecessary use of force when we should be targeting violent criminals that have come into this country illegally. That should be the sole focus when 70% of detainees in ICE custody do not have a criminal conviction. We're wasting resources and trying to use a show of militaristic power, which is a huge proponent of fascism.
How do you feel about the death of Renee Good and Alex Preddy?
Unjustified.
Are you going to do anything about it?
Are you going to do anything about it? By the way, when we had Democrats in charge, we didn't have killings like this. There is a solution, and it's really not that hard. It really isn't. And by the way, since when would rando killing lead to less killing? Like, most people know that the Trump administration and the people around him would use any act of violence as a justification for more violence.
I promise you, for everyone.
It's insipid.
Thanks for joining me today, guys. Catch you on the flip side. Take care, everybody.